Come on, Jerry. You know this isn't easy for me.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 saddest movie breakups.
Je veux plus te voir, je veux plus jamais voir ta tête. D'accord? Je veux plus jamais te voir. Tu prends tes affaires et tu te casses. Sors de ma vie.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most heart-wrenching times couples split up in films, even if they got back together later on. Since plot points will be discussed, a spoiler alert is now in effect. Which of these breakups makes you cry the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Debbie and Dan, About Last Night.
Just say what you're gonna say.
Sometimes one person just has to move out. In 1986's About Last Night, Debbie and Dan begin dating after a one-night stand turns into something more. But as their relationship goes forward, things get increasingly tense until it all hits the fan. After witnessing someone come on to Dan at a party, Debbie begins to doubt their relationship. When they meet later that night, her quiet voice lets you know you're in for something rough. The fight that ends things culminates in Dan telling Debbie that he doesn't love her anymore, resulting in an extremely raw and unfortunate moment.
I'm gone. It's done. And you can go back to doing whatever you want to do. With whoever you want to do it with. And whatever orifice you want to do it in.
Number 19. Marie de Tourvel and Sébastien de Valmont, Dangerous Liaisons. Breaking up can be beyond your control, but that doesn't mean you have to be rude about it. This aptly named 1988 movie follows the sexual exploits and foul play of the Parisian upper class. Amid all the scheming, certified playboy Sébastien de Valmont makes a bet that he can seduce the devoutly pious Marie de Tourvel. He manages to do so, but there's a catch. He falls in love. In a fit of embarrassment and anger, he breaks things off with her, though his reasoning isn't exactly convincing.
It's beyond my control.
He's clearly upset, but that doesn't stop him from putting on a cold facade. Marie's sobs, juxtaposed with his outer cruelty, make the scene particularly haunting.
Listen to me. You've given me great pleasure, but I simply cannot bring myself to regret leaving you. It's the way of the world, quite beyond my control.
Number 18, Carol and Therese. Carol.
Here.
A heartfelt letter is a great way to express your emotions, but it can also be utterly devastating. Carol revolves around the relationship between Therese and Carol, an older woman in the middle of divorce proceedings who's fighting for custody of her child. The two women begin seeing each other, but Carol becomes frightened that a romance with a woman might affect the custody case, and leaves. She writes Therese a letter trying to explain her decision, telling her that she'll understand someday. That may be true, but it doesn't change the fact that it's absolutely heartbreaking.
And when it happens, I want you to imagine me there to greet you. Our lives stretched out ahead of us, a perpetual sunrise.
Number 17, Katie and Hubble, The Way We Were. It's amazing the way decisions are forced on you, and how differences can get in the way no matter how badly you wish they wouldn't. Katie and Hubble couldn't be more different. She's an outspoken activist while he's unambitious and apolitical. When they get together, we can't help but hope that their attraction to each other will be strong enough to overcome any issues. Sadly, life isn't always that simple, and things go downhill.
And you never really wanted to go to France, did you?
No, you wanted me to.
They eventually realize that their visions for a good, happy life do not align, and cease their attempts to make things work. Seeing their relationship dissolve is difficult, and makes their encounter years later extra bittersweet.
Your girl is lovely, Hubble. Why don't you bring her for a drink when you come?
Number 16, Sue and Chow, In the Mood for Love. This is a different kind of breakup, but a devastating one all the same. Chow and Sue live in the same building with their respective spouses, but soon learn that they're both being cheated on. Their friendship eventually evolves into something more, and though they resolve not to act on their feelings physically, their connection is undeniable. So it only makes sense that Chow invites Sue to go to Singapore with him when he gets a job there. Unfortunately, she doesn't make it on time. A couple of almost encounters follow, but they never really see each other again. If she had just arrived a little earlier on that fateful day, everything could have been drastically different. We will never be over it. Number 15, Annette and Sebastian, Cruel Intentions. This 1999 movie is an adaptation of Les Liaisons Dangereuses, the same novel the 1988 movie is also based on. It follows a bunch of privileged teens as they get into all kinds of trouble, with Sebastian and Annette proving that opposites do indeed attract. He's playing a game at first, but he quickly falls for her. Sadly, his stepsister Catherine isn't having it and forces him to cut things off. Their breakup is extra scathing and sad, with Sebastian telling Annette things he knows will hurt her while holding back tears.
I don't know how to make this any clearer to you. You mean nothing to me. You were just a conquest.
He doesn't mean any of it, but that only makes it more disheartening. Living up to the movie's name, it's a pretty cruel moment to watch. Number 14, Alice and Dan, Closer. Closer is a movie all about infidelity, so you know it's bound to have a couple of pretty nasty breakups. But what transpires between Alice and Dan takes the cake. Their relationship initially comes to an end after he cheats on her, though they then get back together.
Why isn't love enough? I'm the one who leaves. I'm supposed to leave you. I'm the one who leaves.
At this point in the story, though, it seems that Alice, whose real name is actually Jane, just can't take it anymore. She tells Dan she no longer has feelings for him, and things devolve from there.
I don't love you anymore.
Since when?
Now. Just now. I don't want to lie. I can't tell the truth, so it's over.
In an effort to make him understand, she expresses her true emotions. His reaction is to slap her, resulting in a terrifying moment that's absolutely brutal to witness. Number 13, Joanna and Ted, Kramer vs. Kramer. Divorce isn't usually a pleasant thing to watch, even in fictional movies. And this 1979 release doesn't sugarcoat things. At the beginning of the film, Joanna tells her husband Ted that their marriage is over.
I paid the rent, I paid the Con Ed bill, and I paid the phone bill, so...
Well, you really pick your times, Ted.
It's an abrupt way to open a story, to put it mildly, and Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep's brilliant acting further amplifies the intensity. She's all logic, carefully explaining what she's doing and what he'll be responsible for going forward. Meanwhile, he seems incredulous, as though he can't quite believe this is actually happening. Still, she's set on leaving. The result is a depressing and gloomy talk we wouldn't wish on anyone.
Joanne, please.
And I don't love you anymore.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Number 12, Miranda and Daniel, Mrs. Doubtfire. After quitting his job, Daniel comes home and throws a wild and extremely messy birthday bash for one of his 3 children. His wife, Miranda, is furious, with the event bringing a plethora of the couple's other issues to the surface. While fighting about the party, Miranda abruptly tells Daniel that they're done.
It's over! It's over!
He pleads and pleads with her to rethink things, telling her they can work it out, but Miranda has made up her mind. Her reasoning is, in a word, jarring.
We've just grown apart. We're different. We have nothing in common.
After 14 years together, that realization is the most dispiriting of all. It's like we said, divorce can be rough. Number 11, Gabriella and Troy, High School Musical 2. This breakup is a lot sadder than you might remember. High School Musical 2 picks up with Troy and Gabriella on the precipice of summer break, and their bond is as strong as ever. The pair and their friends even get a job at the same country club, but Sharpay has her sights set on Troy and he begins to lose himself. Thus, things with Gabriella unravel. All the tension culminates in her quitting and ending their relationship.
I want to remember this summer, but not like this, Troy.
Of course, a heartfelt song completes the moment. Gotta Go My Own Way is a cathartic number, but as much as we love belting it out, we never want to experience the pain we felt when Gabriella gave her tea necklace back again. Number 10, Jane and Thomas, Becoming Jane. It's unfortunate that the woman who was so wonderful at writing love stories didn't get to finish her own. Becoming Jane is a dramatized depiction of Jane Austen's life before she became, well, Jane Austen, chronicling her lifelong affection for Thomas Lefroy. The two almost elope, but Jane finds out that Thomas's family depends on him for their financial well-being, which a marriage would all but ruin.
No, Jane. I will never give you up.
Tom.
Don't speak or think or... Just love me. Do you love me?
Yes. But if our love destroys your family, it will destroy itself.
She breaks off the engagement, worried they're too poor to make things last. The breakup is gut-wrenching, with uncontrollable circumstances standing in the way of their happiness. The kicker comes when they meet again decades later, having established separate lives. Number 9, Francesca and Robert, The Bridges of Madison County. Timing is everything, and this film is proof that it can doom a relationship.
I'll only say this once. I've never said it before. But this kind of certainty comes but just once in a lifetime.
It tells the story of a 4-day affair between Francesca and Robert, a photojournalist who happens upon her farm while her husband and children are away. The pair's love is passionate, yet Francesca is afraid and can't bring herself to leave her family, effectively ending their romance. Their eye contact as she struggles with her choice, and the way she nearly changes her mind afterward, make the ordeal intolerably upsetting.
And I can't make an entire life disappear to start a new one. All I can do is try to hold on to both of us. Somewhere inside of me. You have to help me.
Plus, her love for Robert stays with her until the end of her life. The thought of what could have been is enough to make anyone cry. Number 8, Emma and Adele, Blue is the Warmest Color. In 2013's Blue is the Warmest Color, Emma and Adele develop a friendship after a chance meeting at a lesbian bar, and eventually begin dating. Despite not having a ton in common and their age difference, they move in together. Their lives begin to diverge as Emma becomes more interested in her painting career, while Adele begins to feel lonely and out of place.
Ça fait combien de temps que tu couches avec lui?
Je suis jamais sortie.
Combien de fois t'as couché avec lui? Dis-le-moi! Depuis combien de temps tu me mens? Ça fait combien de temps que tu me prends pour une conne?
Je te prends pas pour une conne, je t'ai jamais prise pour une conne.
Dégage d'ici. Allez, tu dégages.
The latter character ends up cheating on the former with a male coworker, triggering a fight that's so dark it's hard to describe without getting emotional. Between Adele's lying and tears and Emma's harsh words, this breakup isn't one we plan on rewatching anytime soon. Number 7, Clementine and Joel, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. In this case, there's not just one specific scene to focus on, because the entire movie is basically one long, bittersweet breakup. When Joel discovers that his ex Clementine has undergone a procedure to wipe her memories of him from her mind, he decides to do the same. What follows are various snapshots of their time together, from the good to the bad to the very bad.
I'm sorry, okay? Clem, I didn't mean it, all right?
It's often quite distressing, which explains why they wanted to forget. Their heartrending story is a lovely yet melancholic meditation on memory and connection. It invites viewers to consider the fact that even the things that make us bawl aren't necessarily worth forgetting completely.
Okay.
Number 6, Dorothy and Jerry, Jerry Maguire. Just because a relationship ending is sad doesn't mean it wasn't the right move. For instance, Jerry and Dorothy move way too fast through the beginnings of their romance. Their age gap and her being a single mom don't simplify things either. After they get married, she eventually tells him that she shouldn't have moved so quickly, and that it's not working out.
And at least I can do something about it now.
It's a sad and hard realization for Dorothy, Jerry, and viewers alike that spotlights how their personalities differ in important ways. The only thing that softens the blow a little is that it forces Jerry to grow so that they can have their happy ending.
I love you. You complete me. And I just had...
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello.
Number 5, Mia and Sebastian, La La Land. Sebastian and Mia have big dreams. She wants to be an actress and he wants to be a jazz pianist. Their relationship starts out strong, but when Mia struggles to get parts and Seb joins a band that makes music he hates, things become strained. It's the beginning of the end, and it boils over when he fails to attend her play premiere, and she leaves Los Angeles for a time.
I'm gonna go home for a while.
I'll come see you tomorrow.
No, I'm going home.
This is home.
No, it's not anymore.
Yet when they decide to part ways for good, there's no animosity between them.
I'm always gonna love you.
I'm always gonna love you too.
The vulnerable moment is filled with love, respect, and honesty. That's why it's so sad. When they cross paths again 5 years later, they're both living their dreams, just not together. Number 4, Skylar and Will, Good Will Hunting. Buckle up, folks, this one's a doozy. Skylar and Will are star-crossed from the start. He comes from the wrong side of the tracks, and she's a rich girl who's slated to attend Stanford Medical School. The two can't deny their attraction to each other, but the pain he's living with as a result of childhood trauma surfaces after she expresses her desire for him to go to California with her. He can't let go of his insecurity, convinced that she's out of his league. The argument gets louder and more violent until he tells her that he doesn't love her. It's harrowing to say the least.
I don't love you.
Number 3, Ennis and Jack, Brokeback Mountain. One of the worst breakups is the kind where society just wouldn't let things be. Brokeback Mountain follows Ennis and Jack, two cowboys who meet in the 1960s and develop a romantic relationship. They can't be together in public, so instead they brave 20 years of secret meetings and trips, trying to have as much time as they can. During their last rendezvous, however, Jack is at his limit. While he wants to make a real go of things, Ennis has become more distant. The two have a terrible fight, each blaming the other for their deteriorating relationship. It wasn't either of their faults, making it all the more tragic.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
Number 2, Allie and Noah, The Notebook. Allie and Noah are one of the most passionate movie couples ever, so their split is incredibly painful to process. After she stays out too late one night, her parents send the police after her. When she gets home, her mom berates her for being with Noah, belittling him in the process.
Now, he is a nice boy. He's a nice boy, but he's...
He's what?
He is trash! Trash! Not for you!
Allie defends her beau and runs after him, asking him to come to New York with her when she goes to school. But the kind offer turns into something nasty, as Noah has taken her parents' awful words to heart.
I don't see how it's gonna work.
I see. Please don't do this. You don't mean it.
Slaps and screams ensue, and we need tissues just to survive the scene. Luckily, the pair find their way back to one another, but this breakup is nothing short of agonizing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Cindy and Dean, Blue Valentine. Certain breakups are years in the making. Blue Valentine isn't an easy breezy film by any means, and this chilling, horrible scene is one of the reasons why. After years together, Cindy has finally had enough of her terrible marriage to Dean and tells him she wants to end it.
I'm so out of love with you. I've got nothing left for you. Nothing. There is nothing here for you.
The two subsequently fight, unleashing years of pain, anger, and unsaid things to one another. It's one of the most brutal splits to get through, largely because it's one of the more ruthless portrayals of marriage we've ever seen. You have to remind yourself it's just a movie, otherwise the weight of the situation becomes too heavy to bear.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I can't do this anymore.
I know. Baby, I'm just fighting, you know? Fighting for my family. I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.